When you got out of school, you went into advertising, right? And it is the funniest thing to me. You learned how to tell a joke by being in advertising. You were an account manager, and that taught you a sense of, hey, man, if I'm going to tell somebody something, I better do it quickly and get the thought out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think word economy and like efficiency, but I think also watching Dave Attell, I think it's a New York stand-up thing is kind of get to the point.
Get the joke out. You could see a lot of guys die on stage. The setup is just so long.
And also do it without emotion. Like let the material be the hero.
Were you horrible the first time you got on stage?
I think I was pretty. It's weird because I think I was okay, but then friends would be like, wow, you were really bad. Yeah. So I think I was probably pretty bad.
I'm thinking about some of your material. It's so good. The rap on hors d'oeuvres, like appetizers.
Yeah.
Like try to explain that to somebody from a poor country that can't eat.
Yeah.
What an appetizer is.
And if they get confused and they're like, and you're like, no, that's dessert. That's what we eat after we eat.
Yeah. Can you imagine? It's so true. Like you tell a starving person, first we eat, and we don't eat too much because we know more food is coming.
Absolutely.
And then after that, dessert comes.
Yeah, and then we put it in a bag to bring it home. But we don't eat that. We just give it to the dog.
Oh, my God. Where do you come up with a thought like that?
The food thing, I never, I don't know where that came from. It's not like I came from a culinary family that discussed food constantly.
You can't learn to be a comic. You either can come up with that kind of material or you can't, right?
You're either damaged or not.
Right. No, but seriously, I mean, that thought on food is just such a good one. And I don't think your career was typical. You learn how to be a stand-up by working as an account manager and watching comics, of course, but also your first stand-up performance was at a business seminar. Like you didn't go into a club.
Well, I definitely was. I went and did improv. I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I just didn't think it was realistic.
Right.
And so, but I had such a fear of speaking in a business setting that I did this improv class.
Right.
And then, and this is way before UCB. This was, and then someone dared me to do stand-up, and I wanted to do it. But I did kind of this very kind of, we'll construct your da-da-da.
It's so silly, right?
So then I had to kind of unlearn some of that.
Here, I'm going to play some of your bits. You mind if I play some of your stuff? It's like if you're sitting with a musician and you play some of his songs.
Right.
Here's Jim Gaffigan on bowling.
Really, there are two types of people that go bowling. There are people that really, really love bowling. And then there are the people that are like, wouldn't it be hysterical if we went bowling? Because for most of us, bowling is the activity you do after you've done everything else. Bowling's great. You gotta love a sport you can eat while you play it. Never see that in tennis. Hey, before you serve, let me dig into these nachos. It's a different sport. There's an ashtray built into the bowling equipment.
When you do a piece of material like that, you've practiced that like a million times, right?
Yeah.
First time you have that thought and you go on stage with it, it probably tanks, right? You got to figure out how to do it.
There's usually one or two jokes. Like there's an observation that like bowling is it's like there are people that love bowling than everybody else.
Right.
And so then you get that topic and then you just keep adding on so that.
Do you ever go on stage and then and that's all you got? You go, bowl. There are two types of people at bowling.
Yeah.
It's a premise. It's not even a joke.
Absolutely.
And you do that, and you wait to see what comes out of your mouth?
Yes.
You're that loose.
I mean, I haven't always been that loose, but yeah.
And if you bring up that premise and you got nothing,
the
audience sits and stares you.
Yeah, but some of it is if you've been doing it long enough, almost that awkwardness you can turn into it.
But by the time it gets polished and you turn it into a chunk of material like that, does it get boring to do each time you do it, or is there an excitement hearing a different audience laugh at that piece of material?
There's an excitement, but some of it's never done, right? So you change the order. So like say I had like 12 or 15 bowling jokes. There's probably 5 that I took out, and then maybe I'd change the order.
Right.
Or change or clarify the point of view, and then like I have this inside voice, so maybe if I feel like I'm going on too long, I'll have the inside voice comment on it. But some of it's fun to go on stage and see what you're gonna say.
You love it.
It's heroin.